In news hot off the press, it looked like the push that was heard around the world has cost WNBA player Chennedy Carter her career.
Chennedy Carter's push on Caitlyn Clark wasn't just a foul, it was career suicide. Now she's paying the ultimate price: her job, her reputation, and possibly even her future in the WNBA. You might be thinking it was just a little shove, but here's where it gets interesting. The Chicago Sky are showing her the door, not even offering her a core designation. Can you believe it? Carter went from rising star to unemployed faster than a fast break.
When Tyler Marsh did the press conference, he talked about Angel Reese. He talked about Cardoso, who I think is going to be a star in the WNBA, but he did not really mention Chennedy Carter at all, and that raised a lot of eyebrows.
We all know Chennedy Carter has a reputation for stirring up trouble. In fact, she's already on her third team, and this time she crossed a line that no one saw coming. That's right, this incident sent shockwaves through the WNBA. Imagine pushing the league's golden goose. You just know you're in serious trouble. We're diving into what really went down when Chennedy Carter put her hands on Caitlyn Clark. This wasn't just any game, it was a moment that changed everything. Transpired between Carter and Clark. Did you see that the tension on the court was already sky high? The Chicago Sky and the Iowa Hawkeyes were battling it out, and everyone was on edge. Then out of nowhere, Carter dropped the B-word and shoved Clark, taking things to a whole new level. You can see the intensity in her eyes, the split-second decision that would come back to haunt her. We've got some exclusive footage that's going to blow your mind, angles you've never seen before, showing exactly how it all went down.
That push right there was that right there, I believe, was the push that altered her career. And I'm telling you right now, it is not looking good for Chennedy Carter.
You can hear the gas in the crowd, see the shock on the players' faces. One player who was right there said, "I've never seen anything like it." The look on Caitlyn's face, it was like she couldn't believe what just happened. Caitlyn herself shared in that moment, "I was stunned. I felt the push, and it was like time stood still. I couldn't process what had just happened. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's what happened right after that really sealed Carter's fate. The crowd erupted in boos.
But calling someone the B word while literally freaking winding up for a cheap shot. Yeah, that has to be taken into account. And then after the cheap shot, staring over and saying something before walking away. Like, you can't give, like, that is 3 separate technical foul occasions.
Now, everyone's wondering, did Carter just push her whole career off a cliff? Because in the WNBA, it's about how you handle yourself off the court, too. And right now, Carter's not exactly winning any popularity contest.
Her future was not going to be very bright, bruh. Now, a lot of people was kind of surprised by this. I'm not, because I know, you know what I'm saying? What she did to Kayla Clark was completely unnecessary, and I'm here to tell you guys she's living with that decision today because she is without a job.
There were some big time scouts in the stands that day, people who could make or break careers. One scout told us it's not just the push, it's the attitude afterwards. In this league, we're looking for players who can handle pressure, who can be role models. What we saw that day, it's not what we want in a franchise player.
Right.
You're jealous.
Bigger
that
rings.
was a Bush League play, and it needs to be addressed. That was a flagrant foul. That was unnecessary. Flagrant, anything deemed to be unnecessary. I need somebody to explain to me, why was that necessary?
That shocking push. Carter had a chance to make things right. You know what she did instead? She looked at the reporters and said, "I didn't say anything on the play," before bumping in with Caitlyn. Can you believe it? No apology, no explanation. Just nothing. It's like she thought if she ignored the problem, it would go away. But here's where it gets really interesting. It didn't go away. It got worse.
She turned to you a little bit after the few.
I didn't answer no Kayla Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
Kind of on the play before bumping in with Caitlyn.
As y'all heard there, man, Chennedy Carter let it be known she was not answering any Caitlyn Clark questions. And I'm telling you right now, she probably wish she should have, because she's without a job.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, but she's a star player, right? Surely that counts for something. Well, apparently not. The Chicago Sky general manager came out with this bombshell.
Chennedy Carter had an incredible season for us last year, but in a statement provided by the Chicago Times, she's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level. In our league, we absolutely appreciate what she did for our team last year. However, we've made changes to our staff and we'll make changes to our rosters Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent.
Whoa, did you catch that they're not just talking about her skills on the court, they're talking about how she fits with the team. But wait, there's more. Remember Carter's teammate Angel Reese? Well, word on the street is they're not exactly besties anymore. In fact, Reese unfollowed Carter on social media. Now you might be thinking, so what, it's just social media? But in today's world, that's a big deal. It's like a neon sign flashing locker room drama for everyone to see.
And look, maybe she's part of the culture problem. But that's very interesting. You know, I assumed, I'm not going to lie to you, I assumed the Chicago Sky was going to bring her back.
And it's not just Reese. Sources inside the team are spilling the tea, and it's piping hot. They're saying that some of Carter's teammates don't even want her on the roster anymore. Can you imagine going from star player to persona non grata just like that?
Chennedy Carter not getting an offer from the Sky means one thing. Someone influential in the locker room did not want her on the team. You never let your best offensive player and arguably your best player walk away from nothing unless there are locker room issues.
Now, let's talk about that decision not to offer Carter a qualifying offer in the WNBA that's practically unheard of for a leading scorer. It's like the Sky are saying we'd rather have no one than have you ouch that's got to hurt.
She can score. She can score with the lights out. I mean, she can. She's pure offense, a pure shooting guard, scoring guard, an instant offense. But if you're a team, do you really want her on the team? I wouldn't.
But here's where it gets really crazy. Some people are saying this isn't just about the locker room or even about that push. They're saying it's about the future of the WNBA itself. Think about it. Caitlyn Clark is like the golden goose right now. She's bringing in fans' attention and maybe even a better bargaining agreement for all the players. By pushing Clark, did Carter accidentally push herself right out of the league? So here's the deal. Carter's an unrestricted free agent now, but guess what? Nobody's lining up to sign her. You'd think a player of her caliber would have teams fighting over her. Right, wrong. We talked to insiders from every WNBA team, and what they told us is absolutely shocking.
Whereas no team wants the cancer in the locker room. Okay, so that raises a great question. Is anybody going to want her? Maybe that's the best question. I mean, certainly there's real attitude issues.
One team executive didn't pull any punches, they said. And I kid you not, we wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Can you believe that this is a pro athlete? We're talking about not some toxic waste. But it gets even crazier. We dug deep and found out about a hidden clause in Carter's contract with the Chicago Ghost Sky. Now you might be thinking, what's the big deal about a contract clause? Well, let me tell you, this isn't your average fine print. This clause made it super easy for the Sky to let her go. It's like they had an escape hatch built right into her deal. But here's where it gets really interesting. Why was this clause there in the first place? It's almost like they were expecting trouble from day one.
This is what Annie Cristobal stated as well. No qualifying offer sent out to Chennedy Carter means she will be a free agent to test the market as an unrestricted free agent beginning tomorrow.
And now Carter's agent is scrambling, trying to save her career. Picture this: phone calls flying back and forth, desperate pitches to every team in the league. She's changed, she's learned her lesson, but it looks like nobody's buying it. It's like watching a high-stakes game of hot potato, and Carter's a potato that everyone's afraid to catch.
I'm telling you right now, a lot of people and a lot of owners is not finna pick her up because of her attitude.
But hold on to your hats, because here's the real shocker. Some teams are calling Carter a locker room cancer ouch. That's not just a red flag, that's a whole red banner with flashing lights. In the world of pro sports, being labeled a locker room cancer is like being stamped with a big do not sign across your forehead. There's someone said, whoa, she must really had a bad attitude. So now we've got to ask the million-dollar question. Is this really the end of Chennedy Carter's WNBA career? I mean, she's talented, no doubt about that, but talent only gets you so far when you've got a reputation like hers. It's like she's standing on the edge of a cliff, and every team in the league is taking a big step back. Kayla Clark is the reason these ladies is potentially, allegedly, possibly about to get the biggest payday of their lifetime, with the NBA stepping in to help them get this new collective bargaining agreement potentially done. Then we got the media rights agreement done, which is like $3 or $2 billion
that money could possibly help them get larger contracts. And what Chennedy Carter put her filthy palms on Caitlyn Clark did not help her case.
That's right. The reason why everyone's making such a big deal about Caitlyn Clark is because Clark isn't just changing the game, she's changing the whole league. And we've got the inside scoop on why this matters so much. So here's the deal: Clark's popularity is skyrocketing. And it's not just fans who are noticing the big wigs at the WNBA are sitting up and taking notice too. Why? Because Clark is bringing in viewers like nobody's business. And you know what that means: more eyes, more money, and more opportunities for the entire league. The Fever will have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year, and
We'll have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year. And the second best to that was in 1999 with the Washington Mystics at just over 400,000. So the Fever are going to account for over 200,000 more fans this year to their games than any other team.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, she's popular, but can one player really change everything? Well, let me tell you, it's not just about her skills on the court. It's about what she represents. Clark is becoming the face of women's basketball, and that's translating into some serious bargaining power.
This season, sales of WNBA merchandise are up over 500% versus the same period last year, with fan gear sales over the first half of the season at the highest in league history. Player-specific merchandise, including jerseys and t-shirts, have seen a staggering 1,000% increase in sales. Additionally, sales of league-specific merchandise like the popular orange WNBA hoodie are also up 200%. The top-selling WNBA player merch: Caitlyn Clark, #1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3.
We've uncovered some juicy info about the ongoing negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement. And guess what? Clark's name keeps coming up. Why? Because her success and visibility are key factors in pushing for better pay and conditions for all WNBA players. But here's where it gets really interesting. The league isn't just talking about money. They're also considering some major changes to how they handle player conduct. And let me tell you, it's directly related to that push incident we've been talking about. Our sources tell us that there are discussions about implementing stricter rules and disciplinary procedures. It's all about maintaining a positive image around star players like Clark.
Rough. She's on, I believe, her third team, maybe fourth team. I think her third team. And if it's not her fourth team, she's already planning on her fourth team.
So what does this mean for players like Carter? Well, it's not looking good, folks. The league is sending a clear message: push the wrong buttons, or in this case, the wrong player, and you might just find yourself pushed right out of a job.
Right now, it is not going to be an old happy day for Chennedy Carter tomorrow, because she thinks that somebody's going to suck at her. And I'm here to tell you, dog, I don't believe no team is going to touch her with a 12-foot pole. She is a diabolical locker room.
But let's get back to Clark for a second, because her impact goes way beyond just rule changes. Experts are saying that star players like her are crucial in shaping the economic landscape of the entire league. We're talking bigger contracts, larger media deals, and more sponsorship opportunities. Across the board, it's like Clark's popularity is this rising tide that's lifting all boats in the WNBA, and the league knows that they're using her star power as leverage in these negotiations to secure better deals for everyone involved. Can you imagine the pressure she must be feeling, knowing that her success could mean better pay for all her fellow players? So there you have it, folks. Carter's career hangs in the balance, while Clark's star keeps rising. But it's not just about their individual paths. Clark's popularity could be a game changer for the entire WNBA, potentially leading to better salaries for everyone in upcoming contract negotiations. Imagine that one player making waves without even stepping on the court did to Kayla Clark was completely unacceptable. The WNBA's landscape is changing, and we're all courtside for the action. Will this shift in star power reshape the league's future? Could Clark's impact extend beyond her playing days? And what about Carter? Is this the final buzzer, or can she stage a comeback? Let us know what you think in the comments.